All right, everyone. This is Raven, known as the Talk Show Maven. I'm the founder of this amazing network, Power Me Up Talk Radio. And we are super, super excited that you are here, especially today. I don't usually cut in the middle of a day and do a live interview. No. And that's because I've got all this crazy stuff like many of you going on. But today, I decided I was going to do this because I recently met someone on a speaker playhouse that we connected. And I just think what he stands for and what he does is so important that it would definitely worth me bringing him on to introduce him to all of you, not only on our radio, those of you that are listening to this, and you'll actually be able to watch this tomorrow on our Raven International TV network. Okay. We call this show Conversations Behind the Mic. We've met with musicians. We've met with Oscar winners like Lou Gossett Jr. We've met with some of the best of the best. Jack Canfield, Les Brown, Lisa Sasevich, Lisa Nichols. The list goes on and on. Brian Tracy, I could just say we've met with some amazing people. And now I have a everyday person just like you and me. No, I mean, it doesn't have a celebrity status yet, but he's certainly a huge influencer. Yeah, especially to the people that he feels he's meant for. And we'll find out who those people are today. Now, the reason I want you to listen to this is because all you hear on the news is recessions coming. And what does that do? That messes with your mindset, right? And so we have someone here that's going to help get rid of some of those money misconceptions and some of that as, who used to say that? I think it was Zig Ziglar used to call it, your stinking thinking. Yeah, because it's too much of it going on. And if you don't get away from it and make that flip, I call flip the script, well, then all kind of things can happen. And you find yourself starting to spiral down. Have you ever felt that way? And I don't want that to happen to you. Is it a difficult time now? Yes. But it's not so difficult that you can't change it. And I think when we start believing that we can't change things, that's when things really start to be pretty bad. And I don't want this to be the situation for you. I want you to be able to get past that and to start looking at what's possible. Okay, so we have Joel Solomon here, and he is just such an amazing person. He's someone that really takes what he does to heart. And Power Me Up Radio is a station that has a heart, that's on iHeart. And so we love to bring heart-centered people to you. So let me tell you a little bit about him. His name is Joel Solomon, and he's a finance and mindful money expert and master prosperity coach who helps others overcome obstacles standing in their way, the challenges they've been stuck with for years. He helps them on their financial freedom. He's an award-winning speaker, workshop facilitator, and frequent television and radio, as well as podcast guest, who has been quoted in the Wall Street Journal, Newsday, U.S. News and World Report, and interviewed in Forbes and on Bloomberg Radio. And now we're proud to say that he's being interviewed right here, this moment, live. Come on down. Master prosperity coach. I'm talking about none other than Joel Solomon. Yes. Hey, Joel, how are you, my friend? How you doing?
I am great. It's such a pleasure and an honor to be here, Raven. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's all about what you're bringing to the audience, man, that got you here. And it's pretty, like I was saying earlier, it's a pretty scary time right now. And if anybody had money misconceptions before, They certainly are having them now. What do you guys say about that?
It's look, I understand scary times. I was managing money in 2008, and you may remember 2008, the stock market was down 40%, financial stocks were down 57%. People were worried about, their jobs, their retirement funds, their house, like losing their houses. I even had people calling me up. I was working at a large bank at the time, and people called me up and said, Joel, should I pull my money out of the bank? There could be a run, literally a run on the bank. So I'm not saying we're exactly there, but there is clearly a lot of fear out there. And I will tell you that when you have a choice every single day, you can live your life in fear or you can live your life in faith, right? You can not take action, stay home all day and not take any action, and you'll be safe. But I will tell you, the greatest successes in your life will come from failures, right? If you don't get out there, you're not going to succeed without some failures. So it's good to get out there and take some action. And I think the most important thing to understand in these times right now is what your beliefs are. Because if you believe that because we're going into a recession, it's going to be hard to make money, then it will be.
Yeah.
What I teach is your beliefs create your life. Your beliefs create your life. And are your beliefs limiting beliefs or are they empowering beliefs? Think about that. I don't believe they are truths. They're just beliefs, limiting and empowering. And if you believe that it's hard to make money during times like this, is that a limiting belief or an empowering belief? Yes, it's a limiting belief. And you can change limiting beliefs. It's just a thought that you keep on thinking over and over again. So how do you change a limiting belief? You can use affirmations. Right? Instead of saying it's really hard to make money right now, you could say, I am a money magnet. You could say it out loud with emotion. I, Raven, the talk show maven, am a money magnet. And if you say it out loud with emotion, I am, by the way, are the two most important words in the English language. And if you put your name in it and you say it with emotion, I will tell you the affirmations that you say will be working really quickly.
I believe so much in affirmations. I just have to interrupt you on that. You are so right. There was, I forget who originally said this, but I've often heard that, what you think about, you bring about, what you speak about, you bring about. And I remember during my struggling times, and I just could not make, I was just at that time, to be honest, just wanting to make a couple $100, just starting out, just wanted to just let me make 200. And then God just let me make 300, and, I just could not get past that until I started writing affirmations with lipstick on my mirror. And it was claiming it, not just saying it. And I hope everybody gets me. It's claiming it, right? Joe, not just saying it. So absolutely. I would say, I'm a happy, healthy person, and I'm going to make money today. But until I said I will create $500 today, easily and effortlessly.
Yeah, the most important thing, as you said, Raven, is your belief.
Yeah.
Right. So what I teach my clients is not to say things that you have a very low level of belief in. If the scale is 1 to 10, where 1 is massive doubt and 10 is absolute faith, then if you say I am a money magnet, but then your belief level is a 1, massive doubt, stop saying it, soften it. I am on my way to becoming a money magnet, or I allow myself to be a money magnet. Very important, because what's happening is you're doing this. You're creating resistance against yourself when you're saying affirmations that are with massive doubt, or you don't have a high belief level. And no one will tell you this about affirmations, but it's really important to understand that you have to believe in what you're saying. I remember when I first started doing this work, I had a mastermind group, and we would go around and we talk about our financial freedom numbers. And this guy would say, we got up to this one guy and he said $1 billion. And I said, awesome. That is 1,000 millions though. And 1,000 millions, if you stack a single dollar bills in a room from the floor to the ceiling, normal size room, you'll get $1 million. To get $1 billion, you need 1,000 of those rooms, blocks and blocks, miles. So I said to him, do you really believe? And I said, what's your number? He said 3. I said, well, why don't we start with a number where you absolutely believe it to be true? I said, what about 1 million? He said, oh, I'm a 10. I said, what about 100 million? He said, maybe a 6. I said, okay, well, start with 1. Start with where you believe, you have absolute faith in, and then move up from there. Because once you create what you want to manifest by believing in it, then you can move to a higher number. But if you're put a number so high up, what's going to happen is you're going to start doubting more and more. And that's going to create a lack of manifestation and a lack of belief. And so your belief level goes down more and more. So I think it's really important to understand what your belief level is. What are limiting beliefs? What are empowering beliefs? What are you saying to yourself? You know, we were taught a lot of things growing up about money. You have to wait till retirement to enjoy your life. You have to work really, really hard to get rich and successful. You can't be spiritual and rich. And I will tell you, these are all limiting beliefs. And they're stopping you from living the life of your dreams.
Yeah.
So flip them to empowering beliefs. I can
love
enjoy
that.
my life
Flip
now
it.
before retirement.
Yeah, make that flip that script, own it, and say, and it's okay to just own where you are. I had to, and I'm sure Joel had to, because that's how you start helping people. You've gone through the mess yourself. You know what you said that talked yourself out of success versus what you said and did that moved you to success. And a lot of times we just have to own it. And our limiting beliefs is that. So let's talk about some of these very wide known misconceptions. And I know for sure one of them is you can't be spiritual and be rich. That's impossible. What do you got to say about that one?
Yeah, well, again, I think it is a very strong limiting belief. And I've found a lot of people in my network, in my communities, who are really good souls. And they're doing, I'm not religious, but I'll say God's work, right? They're doing really good things for others. They're being of service to others. They're health coaches or life coaches, or they're shaman. They're doing really good things for others, but they're not charging the right amount because they're changing lives. They're creating dreams for others. And so, and what they were taught growing up is if I'm doing good, soulful work, that I shouldn't get rich doing it. And I will flip it and say, if you're creating the dreams for people, it's almost priceless. What you should be charging is almost an infinite amount of money. Because if you can get people to live the life of their dreams and they're financially free and they're doing what they love when they want to do it for as much time as they want to do it, where they want to do it, maybe even in the island of Maldives, then that's true financial freedom. And what do you charge for that? But these people are not charging the appropriate amounts. And so it's just limiting them from living their life of their dream life. And so that's really important to understand. Yes, I found that the richest people I know actually are also the most spiritual people, the kindest, best souls out there.
Mm. I gotta say, this one is one that I've heard before, especially now. Well, Raven, we're entering into a recession and it's all on the news. So it's going to be hard. It's just going to be hard to make money. I don't even know if I should just take off until it's over with. Nobody wants to buy. Nobody cares. I can't get anybody to my calendar. Ooh, I feel way down already just saying that. What you got to say about that one?
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, recently said that we're entering a hurricane, and Elon Musk said that I have a really bad feeling. So when you hear these things in the news, it's not helpful. But again, I think for me, for example, 2008, we had a major recession, and it went into 2009. And I will tell you, for my personal experience, I worked half the hours I did in 2009 that I did in 2008, and I made 10 times the amount of money. And another limiting belief is you have to work really hard to be rich and successful. And I will tell you that's a limiting belief, because I worked much less hours. I worked smarter, more productively, maybe meditated a bit as well and visualized a lot. But I did get out into the world and take a lot of action while managing $700 million. And I will tell you that I didn't work nearly as hard. I worked half the hours in 2009 as 2008, and we were still in a recession, and I made a lot more money. And I know a lot of people, if you go back to just a couple of years ago in 2020, when we went into another recession because of the pandemic, there were a lot of people who made a ton of money in just a few months investing. And so it's all your perspective. I know a lot of people, had their businesses shut down, the bars, the restaurants, the hotels, and in the big city by me in Manhattan. There are others who got online and started trading stocks and made large amounts of money in just a few months. So I will say, what's your affirmation? Lucrative opportunities always come my way is another great one to use. I am a money magnet. I am financially free. But again, what's your belief level? And also, what's your desire level? How much do you want it? How much do you want to be financially free? I have had people come to me and say, it's not important. Money's not important to me. And look, I understand that point of view. Chapter 4 in the 9 money rules millionaires use is, can happiness buy you money? And not, can money buy you happiness? Can happiness buy you money? It's a rhetorical question. But I will also say that if you're penniless, it's really hard to live the life of your dreams and to help others live the life of their dreams. And if you have a favorite charity or disease that you want to end, it's going to be really hard to do that without some money. So
That is true.
Yes, money is important. It's not the end all, but it can help you solve problems and help you solve other people's problems.
And it's about stepping into your boldness and releasing all these, money misconceptions, the misbelief that you have in yourself, and what's going on in the world that's telling you no. Because what I've learned is we have to give ourselves permission to succeed, Joe. And part of that is getting past all the stuff that's around us and stop putting those negative thoughts, because if we, like we said earlier, if we keep telling ourselves that we're getting that, and everybody you're attracting is saying the same thing. They're you're attracting all the people that believe exactly how you believe.
Yeah, you get what you think about most of the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get what you think
Mm-hmm.
about most of the time. So you want to, law of attraction, put out what you want to get, So rule number 5 in the 9 money rules millionaires use is gratitude.
Mm.
I will tell you that may be the most powerful of the 9 money rules.
Mm-hmm.
Being
Mm-hmm.
grateful for what you have now,
Mm.
even if you're not rich yet. But what things, there's clearly things in your life. If you're listening to this, you probably have internet connection. You probably have a laptop. You probably have a phone, a smartphone. I mean, you're living the dream life of a large number of the population, whether you know it or not. Billions of people will love to have your life. So be grateful. What can you be grateful for right now? And I tell my clients to write down at least three things they're grateful for every day and why.
Mm.
Professor Seligman, Martin Seligman, actually did a study on the impact of gratitude on the brain synapses. And he found that brain synapses are elastic and they actually expanded. Brain synapses actually expanded when you're writing down your gratitude and why. So, how powerful is that? So if you're writing down 3 things you're grateful for at least every day at the end of the day, and it doesn't have to be miracles. Like you don't have to write down like I write down every morning and every night. I'm grateful for Lauren and Morgan, my daughters, because they've taught me unconditional love. You don't have to go there to that amazing miracle of life. You could just say I'm grateful for it being a sunny day, or I'm grateful for my health.
Mm. I
But
like
what
that.
this
Yeah.
does is it really expands those brain synapses, and especially in the areas of happiness. And as we talked about, can happiness buy you money? Absolutely. So if you could be happy 24/7 and create happy habits for yourself when you're not feeling, you get that negative news, what can you do to create unconditional happiness in your life?
Mm. I'm
Can you listen
curious.
to an inspiring song?
Uh-huh.
Maybe you meditate or visualize or do some exercise, or hug your cat.
Let me ask you, Joe, is there anything that you can share with our listeners and viewers today, um, that will help them see the distance you had to come? I mean, you do this, you help people. So, you know, first of all, where'd that come from? You
Yeah, no,
wanting to
it's
help people. And then the second part of that is, what did you have to go through to make that pivot?
no, it's a great question, Raven. So look, I understand. I've had my dark nights of the soul and had to lift myself up. And I recommend meditation. I recommend visualization. And if anybody wants details on these practices, they can reach out to me. But my journey and how I came to be a prosperity coach, was I went to a personal development course, and there was a guy there who was pitching stocks and stock options. And when he spoke about stock options in particular, he said that this is the only way you can get rich. You don't need much time, you don't need much money. This is how the rich people get rich, and options are essentially riskless. And this was day 2 of the conference. I was working as a hedge fund manager. I had my own hedge fund, and I had people tapping me on the shoulder. They were whispering in my ear, Joel, does this make sense? And so after he was done, we went out of the auditorium, and I said, look, he has no idea about your earnings or cash flow or tax status or risk tolerance. And most importantly, no idea about your belief that you can become rich using stock options. And now I went home that night and I couldn't sleep. It was like 2, 3, 4 in the morning. And then it hit me. If I could ever get up the courage, because my biggest fear in life that day was public speaking, if I could ever get up the courage to speak in front of 200 people, I could do a better job than he did. I could be authentic, teach people the truth about money. And so I literally got up really early that morning. I commuted into Manhattan, went to 54th and 6th where my office is, and I sent an email to my investors telling them I'm giving them their money back. I'm shutting down my fund. I figured out my true purpose. And so that guy gave me the kick in the butt to do this so that I can help your listeners, your viewers, change their mindset around money, teach them the truth about money. So, because it's mindset first and then the investment opportunities. It's not investment opportunities, then mindset. Because you probably know this, but lottery winners, that's not the way to become rich. Because lottery winners, 95% of lottery winners, 5 years after they won the lottery, have less money than the day before they won the lottery. And the reason is because they don't have a millionaire mindset. They don't have the belief systems in place, the thoughts in place to retain the money that they received. So that's really important. So my journey started a long time ago by learning about how to change your thoughts and beliefs first by reading, the classic books like Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, right? The Power of Positive Thinking, The Magic of Believing, all these classics that I read years ago and put into practice in my own life.
And that's what we have to do. We got to take what we learn and put into practice. I love the fact that you said that, because how many of us, I'm talking to the listeners and viewers now and reminding myself as well, how many of us, how many times have, invested thousands or hundreds of dollars into a product, a book, a service, a mentor like Joel or myself, or even a conference. And we were excited about going there. We were excited about getting the information. But then when we got home, all our notes went in a drawer, all our thoughts went away, and we did barely anything that we invested in. Why does that happen, Joe?
Yeah, I think it's the most important thing in that statement is taking action. Mm-hmm. And what happens is you go to a conference and there are motivational speakers there. They get you all roused up and like, yes, yes, yes. And you get that high energy and then you leave and then you come down and you don't have the support past the conference. So what I found is, I give my clients any workshop, any conference I do, they have access to me through my membership twice a month. They can ask any question, keep up. And so keep that powerful energy up into the future. And, what I say, Raven, is money is just energy. Money is just energy. And if you can keep your energy level up, your vibration up, your happiness level up, it's the same vibration for abundance and prosperity as it is for gratitude and joy and happiness. So you're at the same frequency. And that's really important. But you have to take the action. You can't just go to a conference and then put all the notes in the drawer. You have to take some action going forward. And it doesn't have to be massive action. It could be visualizing and learning the 6 key steps to visualizing. It could be meditating, right? That's taking action. But I also say you have to get out into the world, meet others and collaborate and, get on a talk show like this, to help others, to be of service.
Absolutely. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with more of Joel Solomon right after this. But this is good stuff. Yes. Do you have a millionaire mind? Are you ready to get rid of those misconceptions, those money misconceptions, and that limiting belief? Joel Solomon is here to help you do that. When we come back, we're going to drift away from talking about all those reasons we give ourselves to not make money and move you more towards a millionaire. Yes, 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 yes. Do you have a millionaire mind? Yeah, I do. What about you, Joe? Do you got one?
Absolutely.
All right, everyone. We want you to be there. We want you to have what you deserve. We want you to think and dream and talk about what you want to attract. So the question you might be saying is, well, how does one do that, Raven? How does that happen? When I've been stuck in this same mindset for so long, I spent money, like you said, I did all these things, nothing's happened. Check your action, check your why. Yes. I think Les Brown says best, how hungry are you to make that change? How hungry are you to get rid of those money misconceptions, to stop the limiting beliefs? How hungry are you to give yourself permission to succeed? Yeah, you got to be hungry. You really do. And you got to take action and do what it takes and have that millionaire mindset. And you deserve to have that millionaire mindset. Yes, yes, yes. You can make it happen. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hi, everyone. You are tuned into Conversations Behind the Mic. We've had some many amazing people behind this mic. Russell Simmons, Chili, Lou Gossett Jr., Brian Tracy, Brendan Burchard, Lisa Sasevich, Mark Victor Hansen. I could go on and on, but guess who we got today? I'm talking about Joel Solomon, finance and mindful money expert and master prosperity coach. Yes, yes. Hey, Joe, welcome back. We're so glad you're here. We got about 25 more minutes, so we're going to dive deep on some things. We talked about the money misconceptions. Let's talk about, we talked about the limiting beliefs. Let's talk about more about flipping that script. And because I know you got an amazing Money Miracles membership, we're going to hold that for the end. So don't you guys go anywhere on that. Because many of you that are struggling with that millionaire mindset and want that millionaire mindset may need some handholding. So, we'll talk about that in a second. But Joe, what I want to talk about now is, my sister Tracy, she's one of those people that will buy a scratch off and I'm telling you, she is so into winning the lottery. I really believe one day she's going to do it because I've seen her take her last. And she gets that scratch off and she'll get $40, one time $400. One time I gave her $100 to buy mine and I didn't get anything. And she got her one and made $450. What the heck? But, a lot of people are saying, well, I'm just going to keep doing that. I keep winning a little bit. One day I'll win the big one. Do you ever get clients to say that? And if so, how do you guide them with that, where they won't get so crazy in one way, but as far as working and actually making things happen, it's almost like they're hoping that they can just have the easy life and just win it all. There's nothing wrong with that, but you can't forget to do what it takes, the action every day. And then if that comes in, that's extra. What do you guys say about that?
Yeah, like we already talked about, and I actually have a few pages on lottery winnings and this exact question in the 9 Money Rules Millionaires use. So it's a really excellent question because people do ask me and they say, should I play the lottery every day? And I say, well, first of all, I don't know any bank CEOs who play the lottery, right? I mean, I don't know any rich people who became rich by playing the lottery. So, and the other point being is that generally you're getting rich by being of service to others, right? And are you really being of service by winning the lottery? I would say not. When you have purpose, you create prosperity. So I will say there's a lot more people who are doing their why, who are living their purpose, who are created businesses that have helped others. Think Steve Jobs and Elon Musk and Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. They've all created businesses that have created massive amounts of wealth for themselves and their shareholders, and actually created amazing technology as well. And that's purpose. And that creates massive prosperity, right? So again, as we talked about earlier, most lottery winners don't have the millionaire mindset. And so 5 years after they won it, they're worse off than they were the day before they did win. 95% of the people. So I talk about being of service to others and creating wealth that way, creating a business, investing in other businesses is the way to financial prosperity. Now, to go back to delve into beliefs a bit more, here's a really practical way to shift your limiting beliefs. Here's two practical ways. One is take a look at your actions and what are they showing you? I had one client who told me his dad growing up would take the toothpaste tube and put a piece of wood at the bottom and slowly push it to the top so he would not miss out on any little bit of the toothpaste. How is that? Is that a prosperous action or a scarcity action?
Okay. Interesting.
Now, I grew up and it took a long time for me to change this action, which is my dad would scream at me for leaving the light on in my room when we left the house. Joel, we're not a shareholder of Long Island Lighting Company. Shut that light off. Is it waste or is it a dollar? Yes, it might be a dollar wasted, but it's the poverty conscious mindset. It's also the mindset that says that if I win, you lose, right? There's no win-win. But I will tell you that I had dinner every quarter, every 3 months with my buddies, and we talked about our best stock ideas, and we all made money. There's abundance everywhere, prosperity everywhere. So it doesn't mean that just because one person wins, another person has to lose. That's not how the world works. So you can collaborate and make more money.
Isn't that wonderful that that's not how the world works? Absolutely.
Not how the world works. So so the first thing to do is, how are your actions showing you your thoughts about money? You know, are you going, like, I know gas has gotten very expensive, right? And I know it's a big challenge for a lot of people. But are you going to the gas station now and filling up $5 and then filling up, you know, a few hours later or next day, $5?
Yeah.
What are your actions showing you about your own mindset, about your poverty consciousness or your prosperity consciousness? So that's one. Look at your actions, because they are a tell to your limiting beliefs and your thoughts. Now, the second powerful tip I'll give your listeners is to act as if what you want to happen has already happened. What does that mean?
That's you. You're just putting it. You're placing yourself there, and that's going to get you there faster rather than slower. Act as if. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did this a couple of years ago, and I've done it many times in my life. But here's one specific example, which was I wanted to go to Egypt. It was a big deal. It was a big trip, you know, a lot of money. And so I checked out how much the flights were and how many frequent flyer miles I would need if I wanted to fly business class to Egypt. And then I checked out the hotels, and I checked out how long it took to get there and what excursions I might take. And I wrote it all down. I didn't just look at it, but I put it in an email to myself and put it in a file. And then I actually took pictures of Egypt and put it on vision boards, put it on my screensaver. But acting as if, by looking into the hotels, looking into the flights, checking how the temperature might be, if I went in April or January or July, and do I really want to go in July when it's 120 in the desert? Or maybe I prefer to go in the end of January when it's only 70 or 65, believe it or not, in Egypt. And so I took all those actions, I acted as if, and I will tell you that in January to February of 2022, I was in front of the Sphinx. If you can see that, if you're watching, You can see me in front of the Sphinx this year. So acting as if does work. It's a powerful, really powerful technique. And it also changes your mindset. You know, it's fun to do. You know, like you're researching things you want in your life. You want to go on that trip, or you want to have a vacation home on the island of the Maldives. Research it. See how much it costs. See how much a down payment would be. See what island in the Maldives you want to be. How long would it take to get there? You know, if you want to own a place somewhere, what would it cost? You know, what about your dream car? Go test drive it. You don't have to have the money right today, but test drive it. Feel the leather, feel the speed, feel the power of the car.
I love the fact that you shared your story on how you place people there. That's so cool. I mean, how you placed yourself there. And a lot of us, this is where the vision board comes in, right? You know, if you can see it, you can believe it. I remember one time someone reached out to me when I was on CNN and they said, hey, who is a person you want to interview? And I told them it was Michelle and Barack Obama. And so they painted this picture of me holding a mic, and Barack and Michelle were behind me on some stairs, and they were all dressed up. And, you know, I had the microphone, and I carried this picture everywhere I lived. When I left Houston, I brought it here to California. Well, several years after that, I was in Hawaii with my son, and I get this email saying you were nominated for the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. Barack Obama will be leaving office in the next 4 to 6 weeks. You know, we need to know, are you going to accept this nomination? You know, so I didn't get the interview, but I got an award and a presidential pin and his signature on here. So isn't that so cool? You know, how things can happen.
Works.
Yeah, that's how things work, right? I'm a big believer in the vision board. If I had not started putting faces of people I wanted to interview all around my computer and have vision boards and, you know, things cut out and stuff, I don't think I'd be anywhere near where I am now, you know, because those affirmations, sometimes they work, sometimes they didn't work. It took me a while, as I was saying earlier, to get that you need to really, it's not saying the affirmations, because like we talked about, so many people say it, but you got to feel those affirmations. You got to speak everything into an existence. And I know one of the things you have done is help people with that. And you got this great membership, and we're running out of time. So can you kind of share, you know, a little bit about, you know, why you're so moved to help people? We talked about it a little bit earlier. What exactly you do, and tell us about this membership. And we probably got about 3 minutes. So that's a lot to squeeze in.
Well, as I said earlier, you know, there's a lot of people out there that I think are creating misconceptions and I don't like to say the word lying, but misleading people. And I believe that given my past experience, I can teach them the truth about money and be authentic and be of service. And so that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I really want to help more people. My mission is to help at least 100,000 people become financially free. I'd love you as a listener to be one of them. And so in my membership, I create an ability for you to become financially free. I give you all the tools. We go through each of the 9 money rules. We have specific manifesting techniques. And I'll just give a quick one as we're talking about vision boards and visualizing. In visualization, the most important, as I think Raven alluded to, is your feeling. So Wayne Dyer said in his book, Wishes Fulfilled, if you could feel the feeling of what you want to happen as if it's already happened, then it will happen quickly. So we talk about visualization is actually one of my 9 powerful manifesting techniques in the membership. It's only $59 a month. And the goal is, again, to get you from wherever you are right now towards financial freedom as quickly as possible. And you can, if you want, it's right on my website on the homepage. My homepage is salamore.com. It's named after my daughters, Lauren and Morgan. So it's LAURMOR.com. And also, we've been talking a lot about from a special report that I wrote, which is called The 5 Mistakes New Millionaires Make. If you want that special report, it's absolutely free. All you have to do is text to the number 66866 NMR for 9 money rules, NMR, 9 money rules, and text to the number 66866 NMR, and you'll get my free and powerful report, The 5 Mistakes New Millionaires Make.
Okay, so let's go through that one more time. You want them to text to the number what?
66866 NMR for 9 money rules.
Love it. Love it. You know what? It's almost time for us to wrap out of here. We tried to squeeze as much as we could from you. We're definitely going to have you. Well, we look forward to having you on the Profitable Podcaster Show to speak specifically with the podcasters. So if you're a podcaster or broadcaster listening, you will join Joel and I on Clubhouse. I think it's Wednesday the 22nd, right, Joel? At 3 p.m. Pacific. And his conversation is going to be all about helping us podcasters and broadcasters and moving from a free show to a prosperous show. And so we look forward to that. But for today, is there anything that I didn't get an opportunity to ask you that you want to share real quick with the listeners? I'm going to give you the floor for the next 2 minutes.
So the other thing I did want to mention is I've just decided I'm going to be doing a workshop called How to Shift Your Mindset Around Money. It's a free workshop. If you want to get more information on all the details about that, again, if you get the white paper, you put in your email, you'll get on my list. I'll give you more details on this powerful free workshop, which, again, how to shift your mindset around money. The most important thing we've talked about beliefs. I'll tell you, hashtag doubt the doubt. Hashtag doubt the doubt. I know a lot of you have doubts. You may have a lot of doubts about what you heard even today. So hashtag doubt the doubt. Believe in your dreams and desires. I know you've gone through your life and a lot of people have doubted you. A lot of people doubted me that I could ever become a money manager. They said, Joel, it's impossible. Well, if you doubt the doubt those people and stop them from getting in your head. Have faith in your dreams and desires. I truly believe you can live the life that you were meant to be on this earth, this time, in this body. And that's what I wish for all of you who are listening today.
So beautifully said. And here's the thing, it can happen. You can do it. We can do it, right, Joel? We can get rid of that stinking thinking, get past those limiting beliefs, stop with the crazy money misconceptions, and step into your money power. Yeah. Use those affirmations, say them, believe them, put the things that you talk about and that you learn into real action. Take control of your destiny. You know, as kids in grade school, we were told over and over again, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. And it took me until well over my 50s to finally get that one of the first things that I learned in grade school, if it's meant to be, is me, was true. It is true. You have to position your own self sometimes before other people will position you. Don't you believe that, Joe? Sometimes it's crazy like that, huh?
It's important, some people say, oh, it's bad to be selfish, but if you got to be selfish a bit for yourself, because if you don't provide for yourself, you're not going to be able to provide for others. So most important, live your dreams, live your life, and then you can help others as well.
Yeah, it's okay to be selfish sometimes. Absolutely. Joe, before we go, I'm just curious. We didn't talk about this, but we got just about a minute. Just curious, who inspired you the most in this area? Who was your mentor, whether it was from books, classes, or?
Well, Well,
You heard them
recently in the
speak?
last 6 years, 7 years, it's been Mike Dooley.
Mm-hmm.
Mike is a motivational speaker, New York
Mm-hmm.
Times best-selling author. He writes a daily email called "Note from the Universe."
Oh, okay.
Goes Notes from the Universe goes out to over 1.1 million people globally,
Mm-hmm.
and he's inspired me. A lot of things that have happened last 6 years, I draw right back to Mike. So he's been a big inspiration for me.
That's awesome. Well, we thank you for being here. It's been a pleasure. Let me just get ready to close out here, but thank you so much. I mean, you've been awesome. This has been great. We'll have to have you back for sure. Everyone, wow. This has been amazing. Thanks, Joe. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank each and every one of you for tuning in. I'm Raven Blair Glover, Raven, the talk show maven, and this is Conversations Behind the Mic. We're going to take you back to regular programming now, right after this very quick commercial break. Have a blessed day, and don't forget, throw away those money misconceptions and power up your beliefs. You can do this.